Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be here today with my dear friend, Dr. Deborah Wilder. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Hi, Jennifer.
It's so great to be here. The reason that Deborah and I have come together is to talk to you about divorce and relationships in this new segment that we are calling Divorce and Relationships Decoded. And it has a little bit of an additional meaning for us because Deborah, you and I were just contributors into a best-selling book called Divorce Decoded. So we figured we would play off of that, but we want to come on every week and we want to be able to answer questions that you submit. And we're starting off this segment just letting you get to know us a little bit, letting you get to know who we help, why we help them, and we're going to answer some questions that have been asked of us. Deborah, what do you think about this new segment?
I'm so excited. I always love working with you. You know how I feel about you. And this is such an important and meaningful area in people's lives just to help people understand what they're struggling with, what it means, what they could do about it, and really trying to build on helping people have happier and easier lives. I know that's something that each of us really loves to do. And so I'm grateful and looking forward to this.
Deborah, could you take like a minute or two and just tell everybody a little bit about you?
Sure. Okay. So I'm Dr. Deborah Wilder. I've been in the therapy world for over 35 years, over 30 of them as a psychologist, and I consider myself a relationship and divorce specialist. I'm also a divorce mediator, and I do reunification therapy and high conflict parenting as well. Lately, I've been doing a lot of work with men and women, but mostly women who struggle with emotional abuse or narcissistic abuse in their marriages and as they go through divorce, and finding more and more women and men who really need support and understanding and education and knowledge and empowerment as they go through these really difficult things to rebuild and heal and recover. I love doing that work. Very grateful every day that I get to do this work, and grateful to have people in my life like Jennifer, not only personally, who's a wonderful person, but who's a tremendous asset in this world of helping people as well. Glad to be here and happy to answer any questions that I can that would be helpful.
And you service the whole country, right?
Oh,
Or most of the whole country.
that's true. And I also will say I'm divorced as well. I got divorced. It was final. It took about a year and a half, not fun, but it was final in 2007. So it's been a long time. And all my kids, I've got three kids, they're all in their 20s now. Wonderful kids. Very grateful for them as well. Yeah, so I'm a member of what's called PsyPact, which allows me as a psychologist to practice telehealth in, I believe it's 42 states in the United States. And my practice is fully virtual anyway. I closed my office doors a number of years ago. I work with people all over, pretty much all over the United States. And it's a lot of fun, it's enjoyment, it's serious stuff. But I always have to remind myself to let them know that it's Eastern Standard Time when we make appointments. I've made that mistake before. I'm in Georgia, so I've got to remember to Eastern Standard Time. But if you're in most states in the United States, there may be an accessibility there if there's some personal work that needs to be done.
I'm so grateful that you are here. And I think the biggest reason why we decided to do it is a lot of times when you're navigating divorce or just a relationship change in general, you just feel isolated and alone. I have been indirectly coaching my clients in the divorce arena probably for 25 years. 5 years ago, I realized, hey, wait a minute, there's actually a name for what it is that I do. So I went through and I became a CDC certified divorce coach, divorce and recovery coach, and now I'm also a CDC certified holistic and amicable divorce coach because I feel that the more that you can do to keep things amicable, especially if you have children,
Mhm.
is the best way for this relationship to unfold. Trying to litigate it, the only people who win in that are the attorneys. It's certainly not you, it's certainly not your spouse, and it's certainly not your children. So it was very important for me to be a part of that. I actually helped write the curriculum for the amicable and the holistic divorce coach certification. So that was a joy for me. But a lot of people don't even understand what a divorce coach is. So I'm going to explain to you what a divorce coach does. A divorce coach is a guide, is an advocate, and a strategist that's going to help you through the whole divorce process. I do have a very strong personal finance background, so I can certainly provide a little add-on support as far as that goes, as far as getting yourself together and ready for your attorney or to meet with an accountant. I can help you what you need to gather and put into place because of my career in the finance world. But it's really for me just to be there to come alongside you and to provide emotional support, to be there to help you figure out strategic things that you can do with communicating with your soon to be ex, really helping you stay focused on what's next, to stay forward focused, to really look at you are going to get through this. It may take 3 months, it may take a year. I have some clients that are coming up on their 4th year of trying to go through this whole divorce process because of course, COVID, all the other things that unfold. But my job just as a divorce coach is to come alongside you, to be there for you, and to provide emotional and financial and mindset shifts to get you ready to navigate the process. And also just so that you don't survive the process, but you come out on the other side and you're rising to being the best version of yourself. So I think that's probably for those people who don't know what I do, just look at it as somebody who is going to be a part of your journey, walking alongside of you, being there to support you. Because when you go and you meet with your attorney, you don't want to be spending a ton of money dropping all of your emotional baggage on your attorney's desk. I say this because I have a lot of relationships with attorneys and they say, I don't want my clients coming in emotional wrecks because I don't feel right charging them to be there as a counselor for them or a coach for them. So now, knowing that's something that I implement and what I do with my clients as well is know that when they go to their attorney, they're ready. They've left everything on the emotional side with me, or maybe even Deborah with you, and they're better prepared and equipped to have really good, solid conversations with their attorney. Hopefully that sheds a little light on it. Deborah, if you want to just take a moment and talk about how divorce coaching is different than what you do and therapists and counselors do in providing support for divorcing people.
There's a lot of overlap, as you had said before. One of the differences is, as a psychologist, there is a level of being directive, but that is not the very first thing or second or third thing. There's usually a lot of processing, a lot of trying to understand the dynamics of a relationship. How did someone get to this place? Who are the players here? What are the circumstances? And what part does this person play, perhaps if in fact this person does play a role in the relationship? And how do you identify the problems? How do you identify the goals of treatment? And how do you implement those goals? And so a therapist for me is very much in the trenches. I'll speak just for myself because I've got a lot of training in the divorce area as well, so I can't really separate the two for myself. I find that I do a lot of coaching as well as the counseling part. So there is the effort to understand, to identify goals, to help heal and recover and rebuild. The rebuilding, so with therapy, it's not like, okay, we understand now what the relationship dynamics are and all of this and how this all came to be. See ya. We can't just leave people hanging. There's a rebuilding process as well. It's if you took a pebble and tossed it on the water, you could see where the pebble may jump on the water, but it's all this ripple effect. We deal with all of that as well. And so when it comes to divorce, a lot like divorce coaching, I do divorce counseling. So there is, again, a big overlap, but we get a little bit deeper. Also understanding, for example, I do a lot of work, as I said before, with narcissistic abuse and emotional abuse victims or recipients. And it's very helpful to understand the dynamics and perhaps even personality problems of the spouse. And this is psychoeducation there as well. So yes, there's a lot of overlap, but it's a little bit different, the therapeutic component as well.
Another question that I get asked too is, how do I know if divorce coaching is right for me? Let me just share, if you are navigating the process, even if you are the person who has initiated the process and you are just feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what's next and stuck, divorce coaching might be exactly what you need. Majority of the clients that I work with are coming to me at all stages of divorce because I'm not just here to help you navigate the process. I'm here to prepare you for what's next. And I think that's probably one of the areas that I love the most, because I know when I was navigating divorce, I didn't have somebody that was in my life that was getting me ready for what was next. I was so focused on what the process was and what was happening at the moment that I didn't think about what was next for me and what was next for my kids. If you're going through this situation, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know who to assemble as your team, I can help you with that. I have a lot of connections, just like Dr. Wilder in my network. I'm happy to make those introductions and really to be there as a resource for you and help you move forward with strength and purpose and looking at things as your best self. Whether you're in the middle of it or you're looking to rebuild after, my role really is just to help you feel empowered about all the decisions that you make around your life, around your finances, being there to encourage your children. I want to be there to support you during this transition, whether that lasts for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 months. I have some clients I've been working with for years, but I just want you to know that I'm going to be here. I've been in the trenches with you. So as Dr. Wilder, we both have been through divorce. We both have been through things like this. We know how hard it is. So if you're not sure, the best thing I can suggest for you is just to hop on my calendar. You just go to talkwithjennifer.com, you schedule a virtual coffee, and we just get to know each other and find out if there is a way that I can best support you. Deborah, how do people know if counseling is right for them?
Okay, so let me just jump back to the divorce coaching. You cannot go wrong with having a divorce coach if you're going through a divorce. Someone like Jennifer, I wish I had someone like Jennifer when I was going through my own divorce, because we don't know what we don't know, and we don't have a playbook when we go through this. So someone like Jennifer is an absolute gem and a lifesaver in so many ways going through divorce. You have someone who is there, right there when you need, shoring you up, giving you recommendations, telling you what not to do, helping you get prepared. So Jennifer, I'm a big fan of divorce coaching. And as far as kind of divorce counseling, again, there is an overlap, but someone who is struggling with the divorce process, with dealing with the fact that you're getting a divorce and all the grieving that goes along with it, and dealing with the children, if you have children, and dealing with the soon to be ex-spouse if you are struggling with that. Sometimes you still live together and you have to figure out, how do you do that in a way that doesn't seem like it's going to kill you? How do you establish boundaries and all of that? And a lot of times in high conflict, abusive relationships, these become abusive divorces as well. And a lot of nastiness comes out. And so we talk about, how do you maintain your mental strength and your mental stability? Because a lot of times someone who is abusive will poke the bear and push those buttons and get you to a place where you're really struggling. And that's when the video camera comes out. And that's when they gaslight. So we deal with gaslighting. We deal with so much. I could talk on and on about it. But so someone who is really struggling and just trying to live life in ways that they can maintain their emotional and their mental stability, as well as their physical well-being. So that's where a lot of the counseling comes in, dealing with these significant relationship issues and life changes. So that's a lot of what I do. And again, going back to what Jennifer does, invaluable.
And another question too, just to follow up on that one, I have clients that work with me who also work with someone like you or
Mm-hmm.
work with you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have a coach and a counselor. Don't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't speak for every coach that's out there or counselor that's out there, but I know that our joint goal is to make sure that our clients are successful. And I think the main reason why we wanted to start doing this segment is because of the questions that we get asked all the time. I will have somebody say to me, I've had a 10-year relationship with my therapist or my counselor. Do I have to give them up? Absolutely not. Our collective goal is to make sure that you go through this process and you get through the next chapter of your life as mentally healthy and physically healthy and financially healthy as possible. The same thing for your children. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that I have many clients who work with me and who also work with a therapist or a counselor, and it is a beautiful relationship. So don't feel like you have to give up one to work with the other. And as we wrap up today, please make sure that you ask your questions. The best way to get a question to myself and to Dr. Wilder, put a comment below. I would also encourage you to connect with her on Facebook and Instagram. And Deborah, what is the name of your company?
It's the Center for Therapy and Mediation. So my website is www.drdeborahwilder.com. And I'm actually just updating my my website this week, so it should be up and running, the new one. So you can find out a lot more about me and all of that. And you're welcome to contact me through my website as well.
Same for me. You're welcome to go to jenniferperri.com. We will be back next week. If you have a question, please just leave a comment below. We're also going to be uploading these to YouTube, and it'll be on there as well. We hope you find the Divorce and Relationships Decoded as a new place for you to check in and feel supported no matter what it is that you are navigating. You don't have to go through it alone. We are right here to support you.
Awesome. Very excited. Looking forward to hearing from folks.
All right, everybody, don't forget, leave your comments below or above, wherever you're watching this, and we'll make sure that we answer them in one of our next segments of Divorce and Relationships Decoded. Bye, everyone.